What's up, guys? It is April 30th, 2018, and welcome to the Kingdom. I'm your host, Justin from fortheloveofpicks.com, here to give you 100% free picks 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Of course, we predict the games in your favorite sports to make you extra cash. Check out the website fortheloveofpicks.com to get even more free picks. We're live with you every day, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And of course, on the weekends at 12 p.m. Eastern, although we are looking into working on that. The weekends have been kind of tough. We've been nailing the 4 o'clock Monday through Friday for the most part. You know, sometimes it's more like 4:10, 4:15, but the weekends have been tough, especially with me being sick this past weekend. And so trying to figure out a happy medium there. A lot of early games on Saturdays and then especially on Sundays, even more so on Sundays. So trying to nail down a specific time for the weekends that really works. 12 p.m. so far has not worked very well, but we're going to keep trying. But like I said, go to the website fortheloveofpicks.com. Make sure you have subscribed to the website. Go to the Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and like our Facebook page. By doing so, you will be notified when we go live with our broadcast, The Kingdom. And also any parlay videos or upset alert videos that we do, which will we kind of had to back away from at the back of the end of last week because of me being sick. And then, of course, the web had some trouble with the website as well. Everything has been fixed. So going forward, we'll have our daily parlays. We'll have our daily upset alert videos. And if you have subscribed to the YouTube channel, of course, when those videos are posted, you will be notified. So make sure you've subscribed or liked all of our content that you possibly can so you can get everything that we offer. Of course, we are live, The Kingdom, on both YouTube and Facebook. Then, of course, those videos all go through YouTube, the parlay videos, the upset alert picks, all through YouTube. Facebook, basically, we broadcast live for the show, and that's about it that we do through Facebook. There'll be some updates and stuff that may be done through the Facebook page, but the majority of the content's the website and the YouTube channel. At the website, you can get everything. You can get anything we do from a replay of The Kingdom to our upset and parlay picks to all of our free picks in your favorite sports. On the YouTube channel, you have all those videos, and then, of course, we have The Kingdom, and then on Facebook, it's just The Kingdom. But I do like broadcasting live on Facebook a little more than YouTube, but obviously YouTube offers a lot more of content for everything else. So kind of a mixed bag here. And of course, as always, we're up top for for Facebook, and got it backwards. Let's try this again. We're up top for YouTube. I had it right the first time. And then we're down low for Facebook. What's up, guys? So, of course, when you're in the live videos, when you're watching the show, if you could take the time to hit the like button, we appreciate it. Doesn't take long to hit the like button. When there's nobody there, of course, it really doesn't matter. If you're watching this on replay, of course, you can catch this on all three mediums, Facebook, YouTube, and the website. All right, so with that said, guys, yesterday was a fantastic day. I had to come on late because I had been sick. We only had we had 5 games to choose from. We had 1 hockey game. We had no basketball. I think we only had 4 games to choose from, did we? We had very little to choose from. And we went 4-0 yesterday, split between baseball and hockey, between basically 3 games. We took the over under in Lord have mercy. We took the Predators. I know that. And then we took the under 9 on the Yankees and Angels, and then of course we took the Yankees to win. They were -106, I believe. So those are 3 out of the 4 games. And then we had an over/under of 8, and I can't for the life of me remember what game it was. Mets and Padres. So we had the over/under in the Mets and Padres of 8.5. And then of course the others that I said, and we nailed them all. Predators won in double overtime, and Mets won, I think, 14-2. Destroyed that over/under of 8.5. And then the final score on the Angels-Yankees game was 2-1 Yankees. So under 9, easy. And the Yankees were able to handle the -106. So what happens on these days where we go undefeated? They're a big deal. Just to clarify, going forward, there's going to be some different things that we do on the show. And one of the things that we're going to do different is the format is going to be a little bit different. I hate to say this in the middle of what I was talking about, but we're going to talk about certain things in sports betting. We're going to talk about certain things in sports, and I'm going to give you picks throughout the show. And what we'll do is every day we'll talk about something different in the sports betting world or just in sports in general before we get into our picks. And one of the things that I want to get to today is obviously the sports betting management. You know, I can give you all these picks all day long, but if you don't take the picks the way I give them to you, then you're not going to be as successful as me. And one of the things we're going to start implementing soon, I'm going to debut it sometime this week, is our unit system. So what's going to happen is I'm going to create a unit system, and you know, the unit system's been done, so it's hard for me to create one from scratch. So I'm going to be borrowing from a lot of other people's unit systems that work, and you know, we'll basically have a system that goes like this. You know, like each one of my picks on the website, done on our live shows, will be accompanied by a unit play. And so I'll say, all right, today's a 2-unit play, or today's a 4-unit play. And essentially your 1 through 4 unit plays will be your average daily picks. And then your 5 will be like, you know, you'll only have a handful of 5s. You'll only see maybe 10 5s out of the year. I don't know. And then your 6s and your 7s. And I've seen all kinds of places. I've seen it go up to 8. I've seen people stop at 6. Every system's different. So, but essentially the way it would work is you'd only see 5-unit plays, you know, maybe a dozen times throughout the year. And you'd only see 6-unit plays like a few times a year. And then you'd have your, if you did 7, you'd only see a 7 play once a year. You know, if you stopped at 6, you'd only see a 6 once a year. You'd see a 5 maybe a dozen times a year. You'd see a 4 a little bit more than that, and your 1 through 3 would be your normal. Either way, the point is we'll start doing a unit system where I say, okay, I'm going to give you my 4 free picks today, and then under each pick, I'm going to give you units. And this is going to be important because this is going to change the game, because the way the units go in is now giving you specifically how to bet these games exactly the way I bet them. And we'll go through all the things that we already talked about. You know, we've talked about your bankroll. We've talked about how a unit is 1 to 5% of your bankroll, how you always want to bet 1 to 5% of your bankroll on each bet. Without these systems in place, sports betting, it doesn't matter how many winners I get, you will end up losing in the long run, because what the difference is there's guys out there who are not going to take my system completely and utterly. So now you're trying to figure out your own best plays, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a system, if you just randomly, all right, today I'm going to bet $100 and then I win a couple of games, but today, you know, tomorrow I'm going to bet $500. Well, here's the problem. Tomorrow's game, you might be betting $500 because you're confident over what you did the day before, not necessarily that you're confident on today's bet. And today's bet might be a 2-unit play, whereas the games that you won yesterday were 4 units, putting at least $100, or we seem to be having some technical difficulties. I haven't really run into this yet. We are still live on Facebook, YouTube. We have lost our broadcast. So let's, all right, back up on YouTube. Sorry, guys, I have not had that ever happen before. Let's try to get back to where I was. So, okay, so basically, all right, so if you won a bunch of money the day before and you're feeling super confident, that might be false confidence. It might have nothing to do with the game. It might be just that you won a bunch of money. And even I have fallen victim. Even I have fallen victim of this problem in my own gambling, where I get a little too confident and I break away from the system. And I'm telling you, without the system, you cannot work, you cannot function, and you will not be successful. And I'm not saying that my system will be the tell-all, always win system, but the one thing I can tell you is that if you don't find a system that works for you, you will not survive. So the point of this system is that no matter how good or bad you do, you continue to bet the same. So one of the biggest things that causes a fail, to get out of the business, to stop their peak, is that system in place. And for example, so maybe you had a really good week and you won a lot. Next week, you decide you want to up your bankroll. And the problem with that is you have a bad week. And on a bad week, you've now upped your bankroll. So now you've lost twice as much, and now you're worse off than you were before the week where you won. Or there's the alternative. And there's the where you lost. You had a bad week. So you lower your bankroll. All right. And then the next week you have a fantastic week and you only win back half the money that you lost because you lowered your bankroll. People are going to get more confident when they win and less confident when they lose. And a system is keeping you in place. The whole point of it all is money that you can lose that will not set you back. Your bank will be everything that you have. All right. So if you're only worth a couple grand, sports betting might not be for you, especially on a regular basis. But even if you decide that you're going to do it, your bankroll has to be very small. Your bankroll would essentially be $1,000 maybe, and you'd only be betting 10, 20, 30 bucks per game. You should not be betting hundreds of dollars if you only have $1,000 in your bank. All right. If you're going to bet hundreds of dollars on games, you need to have a $10,000 bankroll, which means you need to have a $10,000 bankroll. You need to have 20, 30, 40 grand in the bank. So to have a $100,000 bankroll and be betting, thousands of dollars a game, you would want to be, you probably have to have $500,000 in your bank account. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And like I said, the unit plays will allow you to be able to take my system and do what I do. So even if you're only betting $20 and $30 a game, when I say, hey, I'm putting 3 units on this game, where I might be putting $300 or I might be putting $3,000, you might be only putting $30. All right. And regardless of your bankroll, if we stick to the unit system, you'll be able to make exactly what I'm making minus inflation for what's the difference in your bankroll. So guys, with that said, now that we're doing a little bit extra with the show, we're going to be talking about different sports betting aspects, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of other things that go on with sports. The show probably will start to hit at least a good 30 minutes. Now, today will be different, but starting tomorrow with tomorrow's show, basically the format will go like this. I'll introduce myself. We'll start the show. I'll remind you of all the places to go, all the channel that you need to subscribe, the website. We'll recap for a couple minutes every day, all the things that are going on the website that you need to hit up. And then basically what I'll do is as soon as I'm done, I'll give you a pick. And maybe I'll give you a pick. And then After I give a pick, we'll talk about the sports betting aspects, and then I'll give you a pick. And then after that, I'll talk about something different, and then I'll give you a pick, and then I'll remind you of all the website and stuff, and then give you a pick. So the point is to it kind of, the way we've been doing things so far is you kind of have to get through 10 to 15 minutes worth of content before I ever even give a pick out. And the reason I've been doing this is, I felt like if I had started out this way and I was giving you picks and then talking, I just didn't think that there'd be enough focus. Well, now I think that everybody understands what I do. Everybody knows what they're coming here for. So when you watch this show, when you're checking us out live, or if you're watching it on replay, you're watching this to get my picks. And you don't have to go 15 minutes to get a pick anymore. We're going to start giving a pick out at minute 5. The next pick out, maybe 5-6 minutes later, and so forth until we get to the end. Of course, on Walk-Off Wednesdays, we do 10 picks at least. And so when we're doing Walk-Off Wednesday, of course, what we'll do differently is, I'll give you 2 picks every time we're moving forward. So we'll do the same format, but instead of 1 pick, you'll get 2 picks, and so forth. And so with that said, what we're going to talk about today is, a little different. I'm going to talk about parlays and round robins. We've talked about parlays before. Of course, a parlay is when you take 2 or more teams and you put them together for extra value. So every time that you take a team and you add it on, you're getting, extra value. So for instance, if you're betting on one team at minus 110, 110 gets you $100. But if you pair 2 teams at minus 110, well, now you've got, I don't know the exact math on the parlays, but now you're putting, say, $5 to win $10 to $11. So you're doubling up. Add another one. Now it's $5 to win 16, 17 bucks. Add another one. Now it's $5 to win 22, 23, 24 bucks, and so forth. It's like a multiplier in the lottery. So essentially, for every game that you add, you can win more money. You can bet less and win more money. But of course, the more teams that you're trying to bet on in one single bet, the harder it is. So what happens is with a parlay, like our daily parlay, we're giving you 2 teams. And a lot of times we're giving you teams that don't have a lot of value by themselves. So they might be favored. And of course, favorites aren't always the teams that win, but their favorites are the favorites for a reason. You kind of have to have a healthy diet of favorites and underdogs, in my opinion. You can't just bet underdogs. You can't just bet favorites. You kind of have to do both. Of course, you bet more underdogs than favorites, you don't have to win as much. If you bet mostly favorites, your record has to stay on top of itself. You can't go 5-5 when you're betting favorites. You got to go 6-4, 7-3. Now, when you're betting underdogs, you can go 5-5 and you can win money. And you go 4-6, you can win money. I mean, if you catch an underdog at plus 200, you've already won twice. So you're going to need 2 losses just before you're back even again. Anyway, I digress. I'm starting to get away from the topic. But the point is a parlay, it gives you the ability to bet less, win more. Parlays to me are more for fun. Although I do parlays as serious bets with, for instance, yesterday, I was high on the Predators. The Predators are one of our pick, but at minus 170, the value at betting on them straight up to me just didn't make any sense. I could have bet $100 on it, and I only would have won about 60. I could have bet the full 170 to get the 100. And when we lose $170. And I just don't like that. I don't do it very often. So what I do, and a lot of handicappers will say they don't like this. Some will do, some will, but this is just my method. I take a game like that and I parlay it with another game that I'm pretty confident about. Now, is getting 2 teams to win harder than getting 1? Absolutely. But I do feel confident as in my abilities that I should be able to get 2 games that I'm strong on. That's why I give 2 picks out in my premium package. I feel like I can pick 2 games every day that should be pretty good. Obviously, I don't go 2-0 every day. If I did, then I'd do a parlay every day and I'd win every day. but I do pretty good at it. And just to give you an example, like yesterday, yesterday I parlayed the Predators minus 170 with the Yankees to win, and I also parlayed it with the over of 8.5. I was pretty confident that the Predators were going to get game 2. I was also pretty confident that the Yankees would win. I was pretty confident that over of 8.5 were going to win. Those are my strong bets on the day. My premium picks yesterday were I had the Rockets minus 11 and I had Boston plus 5. I went 2-0 on my premium picks yesterday. We don't talk about the premium picks a lot the day after because, you guys really don't have any proof that because I don't give my premium picks out for free. So when I say the next day, hey, these are my premium picks, you have to take my word for it. But I feel like we've been doing this long enough where you guys should have no problem doing so. When I say I went 2-0 on my premium picks yesterday, I'm telling the truth. If I say that I went 0-2, you also know I'm telling the truth, and I've had my days. And the point of a parlay though is I parlayed. I even parlayed. I didn't do it with Boston, but I parlayed Houston minus 11 with the Predators. So I had 3 bets yesterday where I parlayed with the Predators. Now these weren't large bets, but when it came down to it, I essentially won. If you look at it the way I did, I won about $200 yesterday between all 3 of those picks. Okay. Now, of course, there's money that the way I see it is those other picks had to hit too for me to get those. So I see money as that was Predators money. And then I see money as that was the over 8.5 money. That was the Yankees money. That was the Rockets minus 11 money. So in my mind, through the parlays added up, I won about $80 on the hockey game, and the rest was more, the things that I parlayed with it. And so essentially, the way I look at it is I didn't win a single bet that was just the Predators. They were all my Predators bets. I had 3 of them. I parlayed them. I parlayed them with other games. And so I won them all because those other games I won. And then, of course, the Predators won. And so had the Predators have lost, I would have only lost small amounts of money because I had bets on those individual games themselves, just not the Predators. The Predators were the one game where the value wasn't that good. So what ends up happening is if they lose, rather than losing $170, which is what I would have put on the Predators to try to win $100 off that game, I now lose only say like 40 or $50 or 400 or $500, again, depending on what the bankroll is, because rather than putting the whole unit that I would have, I'm now basically putting like half a unit by parlaying with another team. But of course, and I'll talk about this more tomorrow because we're kind of getting into it, but round robins, for less money, you can do the same thing. So let's say I have 5 teams I want to parlay together. And I do this from time to time. So that's why I'm using this as an example. 5 teams that I want to parlay together. 5 bets. I'm trying to nail 5 bets. All right. The chances of me nailing all 5 bets are tough. It's not impossible. I have done it. I went 4-0 yesterday. All I would have had to do is if I'd have thrown in, say, Boston, not Boston. Who played yesterday? The Pacers. If I'd have taken Pacers plus 5 and thrown that in with the 4 picks that I gave on the show, I'd have gone 5-0. So I'd have nailed a 5-team parlay. But it doesn't happen every time. So round robin gives you the ability to curve your bet a little bit. So you get money for getting 2 out of 5. You get money for getting 3 out of 5. You get money for getting 4 out of 5. So essentially, in a 5-team round robin, If you get 3 out of 5, you'll break even. If you get 4 out of 5, you'll make a little bit of money. If you get 5 out of 5, you'll make all of it. If you only get 2 out of 5, you lose a little bit. And if you get 1 out of 5, you lose it all. So rather than a normal parlay where even 4 out of 5, you'd lose, this curves your bet a little bit. Now you have the ability to not lose all your money. It's not as much of a sucker bet, but at the same time, you're not going to make as much. So, sorry guys, I'm going to have to take a break for a second. I'll be right back. All right, guys, sorry about that. So, like I said, with the round robins, you can kind of hedge your bet. You won't lose as much money. You won't win as much money, but you can now, like I said, basically a round robin, a 5-team round robin will give you like 10 bets on the 2-team parlays, 10 bets on the 3-team parlay, or I'm trying to remember how it is. It's like 25 bets total if you do a 5-team round robin. So it's like five on the 4-team parlays, 10 on the 4-team parlays, and I don't know. Anyway, the point is it basically gives you like 25 total bets when you do a 5-team round robin. And so when you only get 2 out of 5, you'll win a little bit of money so you don't lose everything that you put on it. You get 3 out of 5, you break even. You get 4 out of 5, you come out with some money. You get 5 out of 5, you get what you normally would get minus the fact that you don't get as much because you're not taking as big of a risk. Less risk, less money. That's one thing you'll always notice in the betting world. So we'll talk about more of that. I'm going to try to catalog these and make it a little more what's the word I'm looking for here? Structured. So, like I said, each day you'll know exactly what you're coming for. Today, we're almost at 30 minutes and I haven't even given you a single pick. So obviously today was not the way we're going to do it going forward. This was completely wrong. I went on a rant and talked about things that I will talk about going forward, but I will be giving out picks as we go along. So let's just jump into it and give these picks out real quick. So today I'm giving you 4 free picks. We're going to do 4 free picks from on. At least for the time being, I will not be giving out Ryan's picks while we wait for him to get his show together. It's just going to be my picks going forward on the show. From time to time, Ryan might give us some picks and we'll share them. But from this point forward, Ryan's picks will be on the website or you'll have to wait for his show to get those. So with that said, I'm going to give you 2 baseball, 1 hockey, 1 basketball, as we normally do. And so let's start with our baseball picks. I've got 4 written down, so let's see if we can find the value, the best ones. And for the first game, we're going to go to the Padres and Giants. And we've got Lauer pitching. He's 0-1 with an 18 ERA. And Samardzija 1-1 with a 6.23 ERA. We've got 2 pitchers here who give up a lot of runs. I know Lauer, I don't know how many games he's pitched to get that 18 runs. I think he just pitched once. I could be wrong. So not a lot to go by here. It's not a guaranteed science, but we just have 2 pitchers who give up a lot of runs, and we have an over of only 7.5 here. So we're going to jump on that. We're going to take the over of 7.5. And that'll be our first pick for today's show. And then in our second pick, also in baseball, let's find, I think that one will be our upset alert. So we're going to go to the Astros. We've got Sonny Gray 1-1 with a 7.71 ERA going up against Charlie Morton 3-0 with a 1.86 ERA. The Yankees are on a 9 or 10 game winning streak. Of course, we won on the Yankees last night, but they're going to be playing an Astros team that is obviously the World Series champs from last year. And I think definitely at home, the Astros might be the better team right now. They're not as hot as the Yankees are right now, But Sonny Gray is the one sore spot in that rotation. You can tell by the 7.71 ERA. And he's facing Charlie Morton. And let's face it, Charlie Morton's been fantastic this year. He's 3-0, 1.86 ERA. And until he loses, we're going to stick with Morton until he gives us a reason not to. I just think that as hot as the Yankees are, this is probably the moment where we can expect them to get a loss. So we're going to take the Astros minus 149. Little higher than I'd like, but not too high. And that'll be our second pick for today's show. And so with that said, let's jump into our NBA and hockey pick, and we'll round off the show. We're already over 30 minutes, so we're going to try to keep this at least under 35 minutes. Tomorrow we'll be able to be more like the 30 minutes that I want to, and with the format of giving picks throughout the show, that should help us out. And then, of course, we'll recap the picks at the end for anybody who just wants to jump on at the end of the show and snag the picks. But with our third pick today, we're going to look at the NBA. We've got the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Boston Celtics. This is game one of the second round in the Eastern Conference. And the Celtics have home court advantage, but Celtics are missing Kyrie Irving, who is out for the season because he had surgery on his knee. And, of course, Gordon Hayward, who's been out for the whole season since game one. And where they were able to get past the Bucks in the last series, I don't see the same thing happening. Of course, if you saw my NBA preview, I had the Sixers winning this series in either 6 or 7 games. I can't remember. I want to say 6. And because that's what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking that the Sixers will get game 1. And I think maybe Boston gets game 2. All of the games in Philadelphia go to Philadelphia. And even if they come back and get game 5 in Boston, Philadelphia closes the series out in game 6. That's just a small prediction from me. But based on that, I think that tonight is prime for the Sixers to get a steal, even on Boston's home court. The Sixers have just been hot lately. Of course, they only lost 1 game to Miami in the last series. And we're getting them at a decent spread, although it was better yesterday. You could have gotten in at 3. Today it's at 4.5. And I'm going to suggest that we buy the hook and get it down to 4 points. I just think that this could be a close game. If I had to jump on it, I'd say the Sixers will run away with it a little late, maybe play the free throw game and win by somewhere in the 7 to 10 point range. But just to be careful, we're going to jump and buy that hook and take this at -4. All right, -4.5 is the pick, but buy the hook. Get it at -4, and that is our third pick for today's show. And then, of course, we'll go to hockey. We have the Las Vegas Golden Knights, actually just the Vegas Golden Knights, taking on the San Jose Sharks. And the Sharks are coming home for game 3 on their own home ice, and where the Sharks stole game 2 in Vegas, I think Vegas is going to return the favor here. We're getting them at plus money, Knights plus 113. We're going to jump on it. I think they're the better team. I think they proved it in game 1. I think the Sharks played a fantastic game 2. It was kind of similar to the game we had yesterday. It could have gone the other way. The Knights could have won that game in overtime, but instead they lost the Sharks. It could be a 2-0 lead. I probably would have been taking the Sharks tonight if they were down 2-0, but since they're tied 1-1, I think this is a prime position for the Knights to take back home ice. Golden Knights plus 113, and that is our fourth and final pick for today's show. So I appreciate you guys sticking through with all that to get to all the picks. Like I said, tomorrow we will start with a different format. We'll be giving out picks throughout the show. And then, of course, I will highlight them or recap them, if you will, at the end of the show for people who just want to come in for the last 5 minutes and get all of the picks. We'll talk about sports betting. We will talk about sports in general. So with that said, guys, make sure you go to the website fortheloveofpicks.com. Subscribe to our website. Go to the YouTube channel and Facebook page. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube so you get all of our free content and everything from our live broadcast as you will be notified when we go live. And then, of course, make sure you check out the website. All of your free picks and your favorite sports, NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball right now. Of course, go and check out the Platinum Package area my platinum package areas, and Ryan's platinum packages is going to give you your best bets on everything that is involved in the website. And I have a personal guarantee with our platinum packages. If you get a weekly or monthly package and we don't get you a profit, I guarantee you your money back or a credit going forward. So with that said, guys, check out the website fortheloveofpicks.com and make sure you join us again tomorrow live at 4 p.m. Eastern, where we come and give you free picks in your favorite sports to make you extra money. So guys, have a wonderful day. And as always, let's make money. All right, so gonna pick you up Facebook, and you have a great day. And YouTube, you also have a great day.